How's it going, everybody? So this is my overdue follow-up video on the BXT T800 2019 version or model. It's almost been a year since my first video when I reviewed the frame set. So I had finished putting the bike together pretty quick, using just parts that I had laying around, left over, things you pick up, from the flea markets or trades or offer up, stuff like that. So I wanted to get this done, like I said in the first video, get this done as cheap as possible, but still being, safe and using at least quality parts. So again, the frame was surprisingly great. Surprisingly, it looked awesome. The finish was great. It turned out to be even, it continues to be good because there was no issue putting anything together. The brakes went on with no problem. There was no issue with, burrs or anything like that from, the manufacturing process or anything like that. I didn't have to drill anything out or nothing. The wheels slipped on perfectly. Good spacing. I'm running 28s, so there's some good spacing. I think you'll be able to see that right there. There was the spacing on the top was a little bit, tighter. So I would definitely say 28s are the max for this frame. If you want to be running 32s or bigger, you're definitely gonna have to go with like a gravel bike or something like that. So again, you just parts that I had. Rear wheel was a Mavic. I think I paid like $15 for it. Front wheel was a Fulcrum. I think I paid also like $10 or $15 off of offer up. The only new things that I had on here, that I put on here, were the rear derailleur and my shifter. Matching Shimano Sora components. Not expensive at all. But they're new and they've always worked good for me. I've never had an issue. Avid brake levers. My brakes were off of a Rally Rush Hour that I have. Went brakeless there. So there's a few things I changed already. The original seat post was different than the picture in the ad on AliExpress. Oh yeah, all this was done through AliExpress. So I actually switched out my seat tube, only because the original seat tube worked well, no issues. Quality wasn't bad. I just actually needed it for a mountain bike application that I had, and it's actually 31.6, so it's pretty beefy size seat post, so compatible with a lot of mountain bike frames. I ended up switching out my. Sorry if you guys hear the chair rolling on my desk chair out here. So I actually switched out my bars and went with a Toseek. I think that's what it's pronounced. I picked those up pretty cheap. I think they got the bars and the stem for probably about like $35 altogether. Those were off of eBay. I lucked out on that because usually bars are only like $40, bars alone. Let me see, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that was the only other things that I switched out besides the seat post and the bars. These look a lot cleaner. The bars that I bought from BXT, they're pretty basic. The pattern on it was pretty dull. I wasn't impressed with them. They weren't flimsy or nothing like that. They were still beefy. They were still I got a lot of rides with those, and I never felt uncomfortable. Never felt like they were gonna break or snap or anything like that. So it was just overall, cosmetic. I just really didn't like the way they looked. The original seat tube was a matte black finish just like the frame, so there was no pattern there. Let me see. So my bottom bracket was Mega Expo, then the FSA Gossamer crank, and I used a Mega Tooth 40 tooth, the narrow wide chain ring. Some people, I should have kind of ran the regular chain rings just to see if you really needed it. I mean, obviously for mountain bike application, you probably do need the narrow wide. For road bikes, you're not really doing any kind of rough riding or nothing like that. But I just went narrow wide just for the hell of it. So I did kind of wish I tried the regular one, but there's no, you're not losing anything. You're spending a couple more bucks for a narrow wide, but I actually think it looks pretty nice. So it looks it's a lot more beefier than a regular chain ring. So the tires I had just laying around, alright fixies. So I had some some thick slicks, like the kids out there, right? So I threw them on here, a little bit more bling, I guess. So yeah, this is it. I haven't really had any issues. I haven't had any issues at all. Like I said, everything went on super smooth, surprisingly smooth, no issues. I didn't have to do any kind of modification or anything like that. I do have, so originally this was going to be, an everyday beater, kids trailer puller, but it just started feeling a lot funner. So I actually retired it from the bike trailer and started doing longer rides. I have well over, I don't know, I probably have a few 100 miles on it already. The first few times I did feel, a little weird only because, AliExpress and the carbon fiber and the Chinese carbon fiber. But after a while, you lose that. You start getting comfortable with it. It's just it's a sturdy frame, so you start, hitting it hard, and now, I trust it completely. Let me see what else. That's basically it. Yeah, I am gonna switch on my pedals. Obviously, when I was using it for the bike trailer, I was taking the kids to school, and I couldn't have my clipless shoes getting on and off at school. That was kind of weird. So I kept those, but now I'm going back. Now that I retired it from the trailer, I will be putting my clipless on there, and I'm gonna be using this a whole lot more. Get some longer runs in, longer rides, I should say. So again, man, this was it. Do I recommend the frame? I do. I mean, you're not gonna get a 2019 anymore. 2020, they went up a little bit in price, not a whole lot, but I really do think it's worth it. If you have a lot of parts just laying around, or if you could get parts for cheap, you could definitely pick up that frame. You're not gonna break the bank, So it's worth it. I recommend it. I'm actually even thinking of trying a mountain bike now, so I'll let you guys know if I ever do that. Let me see. Again, the shipping on it was closer to 3 weeks. I know the first video it seemed like it was 2 weeks, but it was right under 3 weeks shipping. It was pretty quick. I actually ordered a couple other things, and it seems the smaller the items, the longer it takes. So, take that for what it's worth. It's still worth the wait, even if you have to wait 4 weeks. It's worth it. So yeah, hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys like the bike. I love it, man. I love this bike. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks.